Hi, everybody. It's Mrs. Millay here, and I am going to read a little more of our book, Restart, by Gordon Korman. We're getting pretty far into this book, guys, so it's about time to really start talking about themes. You've learned that a theme is a big lesson, like a life lesson, that the author is trying to teach you through the story, through the characters and their actions and their thoughts and their feelings, the way they react to problems and the way they interact with other characters. So every story has more than one. There's not only one theme in a story, there can be multiple themes. And these themes often relate to common topics like friendship or loss or change or courage. So as you're reading a book, you want to start thinking about, like, what is this book really about? Is it about any of those big life topics? And then as you get further into the book, you start to think, what is the author saying about those topics? And that statement is really a theme of the book, that idea of what is the author saying about friendship, or what is the author saying about loss, or what is the author saying about fixing things that you did that were wrong. So these are some ideas I'm thinking about right now for Restart, and trying to think about what is the author saying about those that might be some possible themes of this book. All right, so we're going to start with chapter 23 here, and it's Chase's point of view. Remember, I think it was a couple chapters ago, that one doctor, Dr. Wynn, his dad's doctor that he found, okayed Chase to go back to play football, but there are some rules at first, like he can't have any contact at first. So that's where we are, and that's where this chapter starts. Chapter 23, Chase Ambrose. At football practice, when everybody else is laboring under a ton of equipment and you're breezing through the drills in shorts and a t-shirt, you're not the most popular guy on the field. All around me, the gridiron resounds with crunching tackles, oofs, and grunts of pain. But I'm immune to that. No contact for the first week of my comeback. Middle school rules. My teammates manage to see to it that I suffer just the same. Around the Gatorade bucket, no drink in my hand makes it as far as my mouth. It's pretty clear the other players have determined that I'm not going to get so much as a sip as long as my special treatment holds up. Every time I've got a full cup, someone manages to jostle my elbow until the contents spill down my leg and into my cleats. It's been going on for 3 days now. I'm borderline dehydrated, and when I walk, my wet pants create squishing noises. Hey, Pink, Coach Davenport calls, referring to the fruit punch color of my lower body. Get out there and catch some passes. I have no memory of what practice is supposed to be like, but I don't complain about the treatment and focus on my job. I guess playing football is like riding a bicycle. You never really forget how. I run hard, and after a couple of days, the cuts and jukes come back to me. More muscle memory. I make a few good grabs, and I can feel the guys' attitudes thawing a little. Nice catch, Captain, Landon tells me with a slap where my shoulder pad would be if I was wearing one. I guess I'm still a captain. I didn't forfeit that by having amnesia. Yeah, good to have you back, adds Joey, in a tone that could almost be interpreted as friendly. I try to turn this development to my advantage. Can I have a drink now? He laughs. Bathrooms in the field house, newbie. I hadn't thought of that. Pretty soon I'm in there, bent over the sink, guzzling water from the tap. It's better than drinking out of the toilet, which is probably what Joey had in mind. It takes a while, but Landon finally explains that this is standard procedure for anyone who's on non-contact. As soon as I'm getting tackled, like everybody else, my Gatorade privileges will be restored. Football. Here's a surprise. I like it. That means everything didn't change when I fell on my head. It proves that you can be an athlete and a video club kid at the same time. Not in my case, obviously. Video club invited me to get lost, but it's possible to be both. I have no idea why more people don't do it. Maybe it's because the jocks will never find out if they enjoy doing something artsy because they'll never try it. And the art kids feel the same way about sports. In spite of everything that's happened, I'm getting the hang of most of the hurricanes. They're a rowdy crew, and sometimes the physical nature of the game spills over in the way they treat other kids, which is definitely not right. But they're giving me a chance, which is more than I can say for the video club these days. I'm starting to see how I could have been friends with the players, with two exceptions. Aaron and Bear finally have what they wanted. My name is Mud with my new friends, and I'm back on the team. But if they expect us to be the Three Musketeers again, they can forget it. They couldn't stand to see me making a life for myself that didn't include them, so they wrecked it for me. And in the process, they managed to retarget poor Joel, who hasn't even been home for 2 weeks yet. And that's not including the way they treat the residents of Portland Street. But the last straw was when they cornered me, so I had no choice but to lie to Dr. Fitzwallace to protect the three of us. Aaron's always lecturing me about friendship. He doesn't know the meaning of the word. I don't talk to them. I don't stretch next to them. In the locker room, I sit so far away from them that I'm practically out in the hall. When we're on the practice field for the same drill, they get no chatter from me, not even any eye contact. The other Hurricanes have started to notice, but they think it's funny. Aaron and Bear don't. And how much do I care about hurting their delicate feelings? Well, you could fit that inside the nucleus of a carbon atom. On Friday, Coach Davenport runs us through a quick workout. The Hurricanes have a night game tomorrow, and he wants everybody fresh but sharp. Since I won't be playing, he keeps me out on the field while the others clatter into the locker room. 10 laps, Pink, he calls. No dogging it. The others are laughing at me and calling out mock encouragement, their revenge for my week of no pads. To show off, I kick into high gear and sprint down the sideline. One thing that's come out of this first week of practice, I've gotten really fast. None of my teammates are very impressed because apparently I was always this fast, but it's news to me. And these days, I need something to make me feel good about myself. When the tackle comes, it's a complete shock. 1 second, I'm running free, and the next, a big body hits me just below the knees, knocking my legs out from under me and sending me hurtling forward. I must somersault because I see a quick panorama of skies and grass. The earth comes up to clobber me. I think I eat some of it. Gasping, I roll over. A helmeted figure is blocking out the sun. Number 57, Bear. Aaron stands beside him, applauding. How's that for non-contact? Bear spits. I don't answer. I can't. The wind is totally knocked out of me. I just lie there wheezing. Oops, he goes on, fake apologetic. I think that might have been contact. It's so confusing with you lately, Ambrose. You're a friend. You're an enemy. You're a teammate. You're a video dork. You've got amnesia. He grabs me by the fabric of my t-shirt and hauls me to my feet. Or maybe you remember more than you let on. I've got no pads on, I choke, finding breath at last. You want to kill me? It could happen, and you'd get more than community service for that. We had to get your attention, man, Aaron informs me solemnly. You barely said a word to us all week. Don't worry. We won't harm a hair on your little head, Bear adds. Not until we get square. Get square? I don't know if I've ever been so mad. Aren't we square yet? All my friends hate my guts because they think I set up what happened in the band room. Aaron grins. It wasn't too hard to convince them either. I guess we're not the only ones who figured out the new Chase is a phony. What are you talking about? I sputter. You never had amnesia, Bear accuses harshly. You faked the whole thing. Are you crazy? I demand. What's so fantastic about forgetting your whole life that anybody would want to fake it? I didn't even know my own mother. Well, for one thing, Bear returns readily, you can act like you have no clue what you owe us. I owe you nothing, I seethe. The fact that I used to be friends with you guys makes me sick. If you think you can push me around the way you do to everyone else, think again. There's still enough of the old Chase left to take you on. You're lucky I don't go straight to the cops and rat you out for swiping Mr. Solway's medal. They stare at me in surprise. I can feel the advantage shifting to me, so I don't let up. Yeah, geniuses. I figured that out by watching you prowling the halls of Portland Street, taking advantage of people you're supposed to be helping. Give me credit for having the brains to see who's sleazy enough to steal from a war hero who's too frail to look after his stuff. Bear is still staring, but slow understanding is dawning on Aaron. You really do have amnesia, he tells me. Yeah, so you don't remember. We didn't jack the metal. You did. Rage floods through me, and I rear back my fist to take a swing at him. Before I can act, though, the memory flashes in my brain. The triangular case on the dresser, flipped open to reveal the gleaming five-pointed Medal of Honor at the end of its blue star-spangled ribbon. A hand reaches down for it. My hand. I'm totally appalled, yet it makes perfect sense. Aaron and Bear are the worst people I know, but they weren't always a twosome. They had a ringleader, Chase Ambrose, and in those days, if they were low, I was lower. Even before the memory returned, I should have known I did it. Bear's words break into my horrified thoughts. That's right, Boy Scout. This one's on you. You didn't even wait till the old Dumbledore was out of the room. As soon as his back was turned, you snatched it and tossed the case into the closet. It's worth big money, and you owe us our share. Three-way split. That was our deal, Aaron confirms. If we were sentenced to the Graybeard Motel, at least we were going to get something out of it. I don't have it. Bear's brow darkens. Don't lie, man. I saw you jam it into your pocket and walk out of the building. No, I all but whisper. I mean, I might have it, but I don't know what I did with it. And if I do find it, it's going back to Mr. Solway. Maybe I used to be a crook, but I'm not one anymore. Aaron steps forward. Fine. You're better than us now. You're a saint. But when you took that medal, that was the old you and the old rules. So it belongs to the three of us. You can't do anything without our okay, and we don't give it. He looks totally serious, like a lawyer reading a contract. You make a move without us, you'll regret it, Bear adds threateningly. I regret I ever met you guys, I shout, hoarse with emotion. I wheel away from them and flee for home, not even stopping in the locker room for a shower and change. I have to put as much distance as possible between myself and those two. As I run, hot tears of shame are streaming down my face. Since my accident, I've heard a lot about the person I used to be. Never did I imagine this. I sprint harder, accelerating onto the sidewalk, outpacing even the most intense drills from practice. It's no problem escaping Aaron and Bear, but I'll never be able to get away from myself. Wow, that was an important chapter, wasn't it? We finally found out what happened to the medal. I don't know about you, but I suspected Aaron and Bear, and I hadn't really thought that Chase might have been the one to steal the medal. I guess he really has changed. So that leads me back to that idea of theme. What do you think are some important themes from this book? What is this book really about? What is the author's lesson? What does the author want us to take away and understand about life from this book? I'm starting to think it might be about, sometimes in life people make mistakes, but they can change and they can feel regret for their mistakes and they can try to make their mistakes right. I wonder what Chase is going to do to try to make this mistake right. All right, till next time. Bye, everyone.